I don't even remember his name when I crash into him. That's the first thing you should know about me. I don't plan disasters. I just walk straight into them. One second, I'm stumbling through a hallway that isn't the bathroom. The next, I'm face first in a stranger's chest, and there's vomit, my vomit, soaking into what is very clearly a very expensive suit. I look up, dark eyes, sharp jaw, a face that looks like it's never once been inconvenienced in its life, until now. And I just start crying. Not cute crying. Ugly, hiccuping, can't breathe crying. I hate him, I say, to a total stranger, apropos of nothing. I hate him so much. The man doesn't move away, doesn't even flinch at the mess on his jacket. He just tilts his head slightly, like I'm a puzzle he's mildly curious about. Who? Dan. I spit the name out like it's poison. My ex. He couldn't do his job. One dark eyebrow lifts. What job is that? And here's where I should have stopped talking. Here's where a smarter, less drunk, less heartbroken version of me would have apologized and left. Instead, I say, fulfilling my sexual desires. Is that too much to ask? Silence. Then low, and even no. I blink at him. Then will you do it? Instead of him, he studies me for a long moment. Something shifts behind his eyes, not shock. Interest. Are you sure you'll like it my way? I should have asked what that meant. I didn't. Yes, I say. I like it hard. Painful. Not soft. Please, just do it for me. He sets down the drink he'd been holding. Straightens his ruined jacket like it's nothing. All right, let me back up. Let me explain how I ended up sobbing on a criminal's Italian wool. Dan and I were together for 2 years. Good years, mostly. He made me laugh. He remembered how I liked my coffee. He was, by every normal measure, a good boyfriend. Except for one thing. I have this condition. That's the clinical word for it, anyway. My doctor called it masochism, like that explains anything. Like a label, makes it less confusing to live inside my own body. I don't get off on soft. I don't get off on gentle. I need it to hurt to feel anything at all. And I have spent years trying to explain that to people who look at me like I just confessed to a crime. Dan tried. I'll give him that. He tried so hard to be what I needed, and every time, I could see it costing him something. Like he was doing a chore instead of touching someone he loved. I stopped asking for what I needed. I told myself convenient lies, that this was enough, that love should be enough, that maybe I was the broken one for wanting what I wanted. Then last week, he sat me down on our couch, took both my hands like he was breaking bad news at a hospital, and said, I can't do this anymore, Rex. I can't be who you need. He stopped, swallowed. I hate what you want from me. 2 years. Gone in one sentence. I didn't fight for it. What was there to fight for? You can't argue someone into wanting to hurt you the way you need to be hurt. So I went to the one place that makes sense when your world ends on a Tuesday. A bar, with my best friend, and a plan to drink until Dan's voice stopped playing on loop in my head. My friend stepped outside to take a call. I told him I was going to the bathroom. I did not go to the bathroom. Which brings us back to a stranger in a ruined suit, calmly asking if I'm sure I want what I just begged him for. Come on then, he says, and there's something in his voice now. Controlled, but not cold anymore. Focused, like I'm the only thing in the room worth looking at. He doesn't touch me yet. He just watches me follow him, like he already knows I will. We move past the private room, past a hallway I definitely am not supposed to be in, past 2 men in dark suits who straighten the second they see him, like they're afraid of him. Like everyone here is. I should be scared too. I'm not. He opens a door at the end of the hall, holds it for me like a gentleman, even though nothing about what's about to happen is gentlemanly. Last chance, he says. Tell me to stop now, or don't tell me at all. I step inside. I'm not telling you to stop. The door closes behind us. First wrong thing. My apartment doesn't get sunlight like this. My apartment gets one sad strip of gray light through a window that faces a brick wall. This is gold. This is warm. This is expensive. The second wrong thing is the sheets. Silk, or something close to it, sliding against my skin like they know they cost more than my rent. The third wrong thing is the ache. It's everywhere. My back, my hips, the inside of my wrists like I'd been gripping something so hard I forgot to let go. Not the ache of a bad night's sleep. The ache of a night I actually remember, in flashes, in heat, in a voice low against my ears saying my name like it was something worth savoring. I sit up too fast. The room spins. And then I see the suit jacket draped over a chair across the room. Black. Expensive. Ruined near the collar with something dark that used to be a stain I put there myself. Oh my God. Oh my God, I did that. I actually did that. I did all of that. The city outside is too bright, too loud, too normal for what just happened to me. People are walking dogs, buying coffee, living lives where they didn't just wake up in a crime boss's bed with bruises they can't fully explain and a memory of begging a stranger to hurt me because my ex couldn't. I catch my reflection in a shop window, hoodie inside out, hair a disaster, eyes still a little red from crying, a lot red from everything else. I look like exactly what I am, a mess who ran. My phone buzzes. 9 missed calls and about 30 texts from Kai, my best friend, the one who left me alone at that bar for one phone call and came back to find me gone. Kai, where are you? Kai Rex. Kai, I called the bar. They said they saw you leave with someone. Kai, are you alive? Kai, answer me right now or I'm calling the police. I call him back. He picks up before the first ring even finishes. Where are you? I'm okay, I say, and my voice cracks on the second word, which immediately tells him I am, in fact, not okay. Rex, I need you to come get me. I don't know the address. I'm outside some building downtown. I can send you a pin. Okay, I'm coming. Don't move. Don't talk to anyone. Just stay where you are. I sit down on the curb like a discarded piece of furniture and wait, and somewhere in that waiting, the shame catches up to the adrenaline and just flattens me. Kai doesn't yell at me in the car. He waits until we're back at my apartment, until he's made me tea I don't drink and sat me down on my own couch like this is an intervention. Talk, he says. All of it. So I do. I tell him about the wrong door, about the suit, about crying on a stranger and asking him to do what Dan couldn't. I tell him what the stranger said. Are you sure you'll like it my way? I tell him I said yes before I even understood the question. Kai doesn't look disgusted. He looks scared, which is somehow worse. Rex, do you have any idea who these people are? The building you described, that's not just some rich guy's penthouse. That's Draven Tower. That's Callum Draven's building. The name lands in my chest like a stone dropped in still water. You know him? Everyone knows of him. Nobody actually knows him. He runs half the imports in this city, and nobody asks questions about the other half. Kai runs a hand through his hair. You slept with a mafia boss. I didn't know that when. I know you didn't. I'm not mad at you. He stops. Softens. I'm scared for you. Guys like that don't let go of things easily. And you ran. You don't just run from a man like that and expect nothing to come of it. I want to tell him he's being dramatic. I want to tell him it was a one-time thing, a mistake born out of heartbreak and bad decisions, and that it's over now. I don't fully believe that. Not after the way he looked at me right before I said yes. Not after the elevator man who didn't even blink. 3 days go by. I go to work. I come home. I don't sleep well. Every noise outside my door makes my heart stop for half a second. Waiting. Nothing happens. No knock. No message. No black car idling outside my building like something out of the show Kai keeps half joking is about to become my life. I almost start to believe it's over. I almost let myself relax. Then, on the 4th day, I come home to find a small black box sitting outside my apartment door. No note taped to it. No name. Inside, a wristwatch. Not flashy. Understated, heavy, expensive in the quiet way that Callum himself was expensive. The kind of item that doesn't need to announce what it costs because anyone who matters already knows. My hands shake taking it out of the box. There's a card underneath, small, precise handwriting. You left in such a hurry. You forgot to say goodbye. CD. That's it. No demand. No threat. Somehow the absence of a threat is more unsettling than a threat would have been. I don't wear the watch. I don't throw it away either. I just put it in a drawer, like if I don't look at it, it can't mean anything. Kai insists on walking me to work for the next week, which would be sweet if it weren't so clearly born out of genuine fear. On the 6th day, he can't make it. He's got a shift he can't get out of, and I walk alone. That's when I see the car. Black, sleek, parked outside the cafe where I work, in a spot that definitely isn't a parking spot. The back window rolls down halfway, just enough for me to catch a glimpse of dark hair, a composed jaw, eyes that find mine immediately like he already knew exactly where I'd be and exactly when. I freeze on the sidewalk. Callum doesn't get out. He doesn't call me over. He just watches me, unreadable, for for 3 long seconds. Enough time for my heart to try to climb out of my throat. And then the window rolls back up, and the car pulls away. He didn't say a word. He didn't need to. I know where you are. I'm not in a hurry. He finds me properly 2 days later. Not outside my work. Not through an intermediary. He's simply there, sitting at a corner table in the cafe during my shift, like he's been coming here for years, and I'm the one who's new. Black coat. Unbothered posture. That same controlled half-smile. My manager tells me to take his order because apparently even crime bosses need coffee, and I have never hated my job more than in that walk across the floor. What can I get you? I say, pen shaking slightly over the notepad, refusing to meet his eyes. Just you, he says. For a minute. Your break, when you have one. I don't want to talk to you. You didn't want to run from me either, if we're being honest about wants. His voice is low, amused, not unkind. But you did both. I finally look up. Those dark eyes are exactly as unreadable as I remembered, except now there's something else underneath. Patience. Like he's not angry I left. Like he expected it. Why are you here? I ask. Why the watch? Why the car? Why any of this? It was one night. A mistake. Was it, he says. Not a question. A challenge. I don't have an answer for that, because the honest answer is no. It didn't feel like a mistake. It felt like the first time in years someone actually gave me what I needed instead of enduring me, and I am not about to say that out loud in the middle of my shift. I have the same condition you do, he says, quiet enough that only I can hear it. Not masochism. The other side of it. I've spent my whole life controlling every part of myself because the world doesn't have room for men like me to want what I want, openly, without consequence. He leans forward slightly. And then you fell into my arms covered in tears and vomit, and told me exactly what you needed without an ounce of shame, and I have not stopped thinking about it since. My mouth goes dry. That's not normal. People don't do this. People don't send watches and stock cafes, and I'm not people, he says simply. I told you that the moment you walked into that room. You just didn't want to hear it yet. I'm not asking you to be anything you're not ready for, he continues. I'm asking for dinner. One dinner. No expectations beyond that. And if I say no, something flickers behind his eyes. Not anger, something closer to respect. Then I leave. And you never see me again. I mean that. I want to believe the safest thing is to say no. I want to believe walking away is the smart choice, the healthy choice, the choice a person who values their own safety would make. But I think about Dan's face when he broke up with me. I think about years of shrinking myself down to something more palatable, more digestible, less too much. I think about a stranger's voice asking, "Are you sure you'll like it my way?" and meaning it as a genuine question, not a warning. One dinner, I hear myself say. That's it. Callum's half-smile deepens, just slightly, like he already knew I'd say yes before I did. One dinner, he agrees. Friday, I'll send a car. He stands, leaves a bill on the table that's absurdly more than the coffee he never ordered, and walks out without looking back. Because he doesn't need to. He already knows I'm watching him go. If you're loving Rex and Callum's story so far, make sure you're subscribed. Episode 2 is coming soon. And trust me, you don't want to miss what happens at that dinner.